What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Great news in the world of boxing. I must say, in the last 2 years, going on to 3 years, boxing has been tremendous. We've seen some great fights, and it looks like they're trying to follow suit in 2014. For the people that said boxing's dead, clearly you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It looks like we're on the verge of seeing Carl Froch versus George Groves part two, dos. And that's a beautiful thing. It looked like for a minute Carl Froch wasn't interested in the second fight. He thought it didn't really make sense, but for one reason or another, it looks like we may getting it. They're trying to make this fight for May. It's not set in stone, so that's why I put Eagle potential fights. And let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that this does go down. As far as the fight, beautiful fight. I mean, what more can you expect from a fight? Carl Froch was knocked down in the early round. We know Carl Froch has a granite chin, so that was surprising. Then he was seemingly outboxed. He looked very sluggish and slow. Towards the end, he might have got a second win and was able to stop George Groves in a controversial fashion. Maybe George Groves got too confident, i.e., Pacquiao Marquez 4. Who knows? But it was a stoppage. It was a disputed stoppage, and by the night's end, the crowd that was previously pro Froch, they were booing Froch and actually giving props to George Groves for a brilliant performance. So, of course, we need a sequel to this. We need to see a rematch, and I'm all for it. I told you guys I used to live in England, so that's a huge, huge fight. English people are very dedicated. There's a lot of differences between America and England. Their school systems, like when I came to school in America and I came back to the States, I was a lot more advanced. Not trying to sound cocky or nothing, but I was, because the schooling in England is totally different, and the culture is just different. They don't have the same, like in the States. You have a lot of people. Everyone drives. Everybody drives. But if you go to England, at least when I was out there, there are people who like ride public transportation. They had double decker buses, bikes, and it's not so reliant on technology, so to speak. But that was some time ago, so maybe everything's different and quote unquote Americanized. I don't know. But I think it's a huge fight. I know the English fans are definitely loyal fans. If you remember Floyd Mayweather versus Ricky Hatton, you had people who flew across the waters to see the Mayweather Ricky Hatton fight, and they were energized. The crowd was electric. So we need more of that in the sport of boxing. I wish more fans and more cultures, namely the American culture, was so loyal to their stars and their fighters. In America nowadays, a lot of times there's an American fighter, like let's say a Danny Garcia, and he gets shitted on by other American citizens. They're like, fuck Danny Garcia, he sucks. But when it comes to a Pacquiao or it comes to a Gennady Golovkin, they're all for him. And those fighters are great. I have nothing against them because I like them too. But I also support American fighters as well. I mean, you got to be proud. You got to be a patriot. You got to be prideful. And you can like anyone from any different creed, any different background. But definitely, you have to support your own, support fellow Americans, support the troops, support what's going on in your culture and your economy. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, George Groves, Carl Froch, part two. Excellent, excellent fight. We'll see who's really about what in this fight. Carl Froch had some problems. He was getting outboxed. Perhaps he underestimated George Groves in the first fight, didn't take him seriously, but he had a quick reality check in the fight when they first fought. So I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully this fight happens. Carl Froch has probably a few fights left in him before he retires. I don't see him beating an Andre Ward. I don't see him being that much improved. I don't see him getting stopped by Ward either. But I think Ward will win another decision over him. Just Ward had the shoulder surgery, and he's just a brilliant boxer. So I see him winning even easier. If you remember in the Ward fight with Froch, the first fight, Ward was one-handed. George Groves is going to be a good fight. That's a really good fight because Carl Froch is seasoned and he's a veteran, so a rematch is going to be good because George Groves, he's also young. So will he make the same mistakes like he did in the first one in terms of getting overconfident? I don't know if George Groves possibly had some stamina issues later in the fight, but the first half of the fight he looked really good, really sharp, really focused. But maybe keeping Froch off him. He exerted too much energy. Maybe he has stamina issues. I'm not sure, but this will be the tell all in the fight, and we'll get to see who's what. Hopefully, we don't have the same ref interference, and we have a clear-cut winner and outcome. Let me know what you guys think. George Groves, Carl Froch rematch. Hopefully slated for May, not set in stone. So I'll keep you posted as I get more information. Let me know what you guys think of this rematch. I love it. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off.